Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Secretary, you have any public communication this evening?
I do not.
Item D, Student Representative Report. Ms. Sakovich, good evening.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. Get started with LHS. Students completed their scheduling for next year, and the counselors are starting to create next year's schedules. March 1st, teachers and other staff participated in district-wide professional development on how to deal with difficult behaviors. Parent-teacher conferences will take place on March 23rd from 12 to 3 and 5 to 8 p.m. There'll be in-person and Zoom options. Charity Week is an annual tradition at the high school, and this year, students will be raising money for the New Day Foundation, which is a charity that aims to support families of cancer patients financially, emotionally, and all around. These various activities throughout the week will consist of, on the 27th, restaurant night at Applebee's. The 28th is Delay the Day, which is a little fun activity that students can donate money to delay the start time of the class. Volleyball will be on the 29th and the 30th, and all week there'll be a lemonade stand and teacher's pet. Kudos to the Student Council for organizing this event. And Class of 2023 families were sent an email about upcoming senior events like prom, awards night, senior breakfast, senior celebration, cruise, and graduation practice. At JMS, the Patriots with Pride Club collected new socks for the Motor City Mitten Mission, which will make sure that the socks get to people in need, and many families were part of this. Recently, the students made kindness cards for JMS staff to brighten their day, and the staffs really appreciated the gesture. At Princeton, they're enjoying March's Reading Month, and they've had many guest readers. And this Thursday, Channel 7's Alicia Smith will be at the Penguin House running a few Reading Month assemblies as well. Next week, they'll be having their annual Daughter Day dance, and there currently is 450 students and guardians attending. Last week, they had parent-teacher conferences, and it went great. At Harmon, last Thursday, they also had their conferences, which all went well. And they're also celebrating March is Reading Month with many activities, including the One Book, One School program, where all students will be reading the same book, and they have a variety of spirit days. At Ardmore, they had a Red Blood Cross drive recently, and were able to collect 20 units, which is equal to 59 lives saved. And they also had a very fun daddy-daughter dance and good parent-teacher conference turnout. Early Learning Hood Childhood Center, many of their teachers have asked parents to volunteer to be guest readers for their child's class for March's Reading Month, and their days will be filled with many fun activities and spirit weeks. This week they're reading How to Catch a Leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day, and they're going to work together to decode clues as they go on a scavenger hunt through the center to find a pot of gold. And they also had parent-teacher conferences and were very well attended. Their enrollment for the 23-24 school year is in full swing, and they had an open house a few weeks ago with 95 families in attendance and 150 families who pre-registered for preschool next year. And spring is just a week away, so we're getting there.
All right, lots going on still. Yes. Good stuff. Thank you. Anybody have any comments, questions for our board or student rep this evening? No? Great. Thank you once again. Okay, Board of Education and Administration comments. Anything from the board?
I just wanted to comment really quickly. Should have maybe said this before, but I just wanted to make it on the record that I do have to leave this meeting at 10:30 for personal reasons. Don't know if that's on the record, but I thought I would let you know.
Fair enough. Any other comments? Okay. Moving on to item F, 6-month review of extended COVID-19 continuity of learning plan for the 2022-23 school year.
Tonight, administration brings to the board's attention another state budgetary requirement for local schools. Start of the year reconsideration of the COVID extended continuity of learning plan, first adopted in September of 2020 and most recently confirmed at the September 2022 regular meeting. Additionally, the ARP ESSER 3 grant regulations require us to review and update the plan within 6 months of receiving funds. This plan update reflects the fact that we have continued to offer 2 modes of instruction, full-time in-person instruction at buildings or virtual asynchronous instruction through Lakeview Virtual School since March 22, 2021. The requirements of the funding also include benchmark testing, which is NWA in our case, and establishment of annual goals. Lakeview COL plan goals submitted to MDE focus on literacy and mathematics. The superintendent's goals also make reference to these requirements. This plan 6-month update also includes a summary of attendance and two-way interaction rates, which have consistently remained between 90% and 98% for both LVS and in-person program learning. This year's current attendance records are also provided for the board's consideration and review. Lakeview administration will continue to monitor student achievement and attendance data to ensure our extended continuity of learning plan is implemented with fidelity. I now offer the board a chance to ask any questions.
Any questions from the board regarding the continuity of learning? None? Thank you. Great. Item G, Lakers Unified Girls Hockey Team discussion.
At this time, administration is bringing forward for discussion the addition of a Lakers Unified Girls High School Hockey Team. Over the past few weeks, administration has gathered information from stakeholders and the St. Clair Shores Hockey Association leadership regarding the creation of a girls' high school program. The SCSHA leadership previously hosted a parent meeting to gauge interest in the idea of a new girls' high school team option. Travel hockey participation for girls in St. Clair Shores and around the state has grown dramatically in the recent years. Colleges and universities of all kinds around the country are now hosting hockey for female athletes, whether at a club level or NCAA-sponsored level teams. After meeting with representatives from Lakeshore and Lakeview school districts, leadership of the SCSHA believed developing a cooperative agreement arrangement similar to the boys program already operating will be beneficial to the city and the schools. The current boys agreement includes collaboration from all 3 school districts in St. Clair Shores, and we propose the girls program to be similar. SCSHA leadership believes there's an adequate number of younger female teams in St. Clair Shores and around our area to sustain this cooperative agreement for years to come. There's no Macomb County high school female teams in the public schools, so this could become a very popular option for girls who play and like hockey in our surrounding area. Therefore, administration seeks the approval of the board to move forward with the development of a girls' high school hockey program through a cooperative agreement with the 3 school districts in St. Clair Shores. Further, to meet regulations and promote fairness, administration recommends we treat the female program the same way as the male, with funding to support home ice referees covered by Lakeview Public Schools and transportation to be provided by Lakeshore Schools. And we have representatives from the Hockey Association are here to answer any questions the board may have.
Mr. President, I move that, to approve the administration to do what is necessary to work collaboratively with schools, the city, and the St. Clair Shores Hockey Association leadership to promote and establish a Lakers Unified Girls Hockey Team program as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Ms. Martin. Discussion on the motion. This is good stuff. Give the girls equal opportunity since there is interest out there. Might as well exploit it while we can and give them the same opportunity that the boys have. Now, this is Southlake as well, correct? Because right now, as it stands, Southlake isn't really participating in the boys.
They're still part of the boys cooperative, but we haven't had a team member for at least 6 or 7 years from Southlake. So pretty much the 2 school districts, Lakeshore and Lakeview, are the ones who make up the team.
Okay,
But we would still offer them the opportunity if they had some girls that wanted to play.
okay. And then as far as splitting any costs for any of this stuff, you would just entertain something with them to come to
Yep,
the table?
yep, and if you, and as noted in the in our little write-up here, any approvals that you guys give does not bind Lakeshore, commit them to doing the same thing. They've said that they would be very interested and would probably mirror the same thing they do with the boys, which is provide transportation, and those discussions can be had as we get kind of more of an agreement in place that we're gonna start this program.
How long have we been doing the boys program now? It's been quite a long time.
I don't know, it was before me, and I'm in year 17, so 02, 03, something like that. Tracy, you probably know.
Yeah, it was about 19 years ago. It was the year after I came over to central office.
Yeah, remember Mr.
Yeah.
Wallerman was pushing for that.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Any other comments?
Yeah.
There you go.
And Brian Crithers is here. Him and Mr. Dopke were kind of pushing hard to get this done, so they did a lot of work behind the scenes to gauge the interest and to do a lot of the footwork that was done for this, so, it's,
But a lot of amazing
Yeah.
players in our school, and some left to go league it because they have a program.
Right.
So I think it's a great opportunity for us, as you
Yep.
indicated, there's nowhere else to go.
right.
So thank you, Mr. Carruthers and Mr. Dopke. I don't think he's here this
See
evening.
him here tonight, so.
And Mr. Zaborowski and your comrades in the other districts, thank you for looking this up and bringing it to us. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Item H. Tabled motion regarding board stipend. We would need action to bring it off the table. And they'll have something following that.
Mr. President, I would like to motion to bring this item off the table.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Minor, support by Ms. Martin to bring it off the table. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, a point of correction here. Coming out of the last meeting, the purpose of a table, and after having done this, it's been well over a decade since we had this last. The protocol for a table is to put something, to temporarily halt action at that same meeting. Meaning, let's say we were working on an item C, and it was going to take a while to get to item C, and then item D was behind it. And let's say one or two board members had to leave for something within 5 to 10 minutes because of something going on. We could then table item C at that meeting with a vote, bring item D forward, dispose of that with everybody here, and then the two board members, one or two, whoever could leave, then we would by vote bring that tabled item back to the board for action or discussion, or we could have put it at the end of the meeting. But either way, that should have been handled at that meeting. And if no action was taken or nothing was done with it, it would die as a result of not bringing it back off the table. The correct procedure should have been to postpone indefinitely, or postpone definitely. There's indefinitely, definitely, and then just a postpone. And looking through the rules here, it's just postpone is adequate for something like that. So to that end, we brought it off the table. We know how we're going to move forward with the procedure. I just want to make everybody aware of that. And now we can discuss this. I know Mr. Paulson had provided us in his update surrounding districts and their compensation. And it seems like of those that he was able to get information from, Lakeview was second highest. And the rest of them were either below, and many of them get nothing for their board participation as an elected official. So any discussion on desire?
I appreciate the administration doing some work to get supporting information. It's always good to be informed, and, I support the effort to table the motion, or take it off the table, sorry.
Yes.
I would agree with Ms. Martin, and I would, like I said, I'd like to make a motion to postpone this to You said postpone.
Postpone to the next meeting.
Yeah, to postpone this to the next meeting, when Mr. Asha returns, being that he was the one that brought this up. So formally, I'd like to make a motion to postpone this to the next meeting.
And I would support that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Miners, support by Ms. Taylor to postpone. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Okay, so it's not going to be postponed. Okay, what action would the board care to take otherwise?
I would motion to take no action.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Taylor, support by Mr. Miners. Discussion on the motion?
I just believe that after looking at what is there, that it's not substantiated. I think, everyone should be grateful for what is there.
Yes.
That's what I understand with respect to it.
I concur. Any other comments? All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Stands. Okay, moving on with the agenda to personnel. Item A, changes in personnel. At our places is a revised agenda item for personnel.
Tonight, administration is bringing forward the following changes in personnel since the last presentation to the Board of Education on February 14th. New hires, Sarah Perez, Lakeview Public Schools Elementary Interventionist, Stephanie Hamilton, Lakeview Public Schools Technology Secretary, Silvana Pellerito, Lakeview Public Schools Front Desk Receptionist, Brian Peterson, Lakeview Public Schools Business Office Clerk Payroll. Resignation, Chelsea Roan, Wheat Preschool Paraprofessional. Unpaid childcare leaves for the 23-24 school year, Colette Barth, Ashley Bodinas, Jennifer D. Mercurio, Natalie Dempsey, Jennifer Ritter, Whitney White Venetis.
Move to approve?
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Ms. Martin. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Have we anybody here this evening?
We do. Sarah was supposed to, there's Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Sarah, why don't you stand up so they can see your face? So Sarah received her bachelor's of elementary from Oakland University. She is not new to Lakeview. She just came off her student teaching with us at Greenwood, and she also did a pre-student teaching observation back a ways at Greenwood as well. So she liked us so well, and we liked her so well that she is here tonight, and we know she's going to do a really great job. So, did you have any guests with you? Okay, you have Cheryl there. So yes, so congratulations and welcome. We also have Stephanie. I saw Stephanie, so would you stand up? So Stephanie's joining us. She is already new on the job and hitting the ground running. She is working with us. She's been in Blue Cross Blue Shield medical field, doing clerical and secretarial and support work in that area. And she's bringing a lot of those skills over to us, and she's already started off with a flair for taking on whatever we're throwing her way. So we've definitely enjoyed having her, and we're happy to have you, Stephanie. Congratulations.
Does she bring you a guest?
Pardon me?
Did she bring you a guest?
I didn't see, did you had, yeah, you have sick ones at home, you poor thing. And we have Silvana Pellerito. So Silvana is here. She actually is Well, maybe not the newest hire. I think I actually talked to you and offered you before Brian, but Sylvana has not started with us. We're anxious to have her getting over. Our interview team was really impressed with her outward demeanor and her bright smile, and we couldn't think of a better person to be that frontline person at our front desk because so many people, their first experience with Lakeview is coming through that door when they're coming over to register. So we're very, very happy to have you joining us, and you do have a guest, so who would you bring with you? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's hard part when you have kids, right? Someone stays home to watch them. Well, welcome, and welcome aboard. We're so happy to have you.
Welcome.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least is Brian Peterson. So Brian, I saw you come in. Why don't you stand up? So Brian's coming to us. He has a Master's of Science from Walsh College and a Bachelor of Arts from University of Michigan. He's worked 10 plus years over in a school setting, in business office setting, doing many tasks that are going to be things that are similar over here. And then he's going to pick up some new skills that match our position. And so he's coming, and we talked about how you really want to line your bench with all different kinds of players, right? So your full team is as strong as it can be. And one of the things that Kathy and the team has identified is how Brian can fill some of those pieces and add to everyone else's strengths to make that just an even more powerhouse team than they already are over there. So we're happy to have Brian. He'll be joining us around April 10th, so right after the spring break. So Brian, welcome. We're so happy to have you as well.
Thank you very much. Welcome. So, Ms. Conan, is that one of your students, former students?
No.
No?
I think Brian was done a little bit before my time, I think. I'm not sure. When did he graduate, Walsh? I don't think we were.
2008.
No, it's before me, by a couple years.
All right.
I usually remember my students.
Again, welcome aboard to all the new hires this evening. Moving on with the agenda, curriculum, item A, Lakeview High School Junior Varsity Volleyball Camp.
Lakeview High School junior varsity volleyball players would like to attend the 2023 Ferris State University JV Team Volleyball Camp. Students will participate in an engaging volleyball training program run by Ferris State volleyball players and coaches while competing against some of the best student athletes in our state. The camp is designed to improve player skills related to volleyball as well as enhance mental and physical abilities for the sport. The JV team training camp runs from July 10th through July 12th. Parents will transport students to Big Rapids, Michigan for 2 days of volleyball competitions, training, and fun. The cost per student is $260 and includes lodging, all meals, individual instruction, one-on-one coaching, and a championship volleyball experience for each participant. Lakeview High School varsity volleyball coach Tom Pfeiffer, along with 2 other coaches, will accompany the approximately 20 to 30 students.
I move that the Board of Education approve Lakeview High School junior varsity volleyball players to attend the 2023 Ferris State University JV Team Volleyball Camp, June 10th through 12th.
July.
I'm sorry.
Duh.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Mr. Miners. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Item B, Lakeview High School Varsity Volleyball Camp.
Lakeview High School varsity volleyball players would also like to attend the 2023 Ferris State University Varsity Volleyball Camp. This camp is designed to develop and improve basic and advanced volleyball player skills. Competitive play with some of the best student volleyball teams in Michigan is part of the daily training routine. In addition, Ferris State volleyball players and coaches will focus on enhancing both the mental and physical skills needed to be a successful volleyball player. The varsity training camp runs from July 16th through July 18th and ends with an additional optional one-day team challenge that includes scrimmages and bonus games on July 18th and 19th. Parents will transport students to Big Rapids for 2 to 3 days of the volleyball competitions, training, and fun. The cost per student for the 2-day camp is $260 and includes all lodging, meals, individual instruction, one-on-one coaching, and championship volleyball experiences. The additional $60 cost per player for the optional team challenge will be paid in full with volleyball fundraising monies for any student able to participate. Lakeview High School varsity volleyball coach Tom Pfeiffer, along with 2 other coaches, will accompany the 20 to 30 students.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the Lakeview High School varsity volleyball players to attend the 2023 Fair State University varsity volleyball camp on July 16 to 18, 2023, with the option for players to stay an additional day for the team challenge.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Martin, support by Mr. Baird. Discussion on the motion.
I have one thing.
Mr. Miskelly.
The 200, I have 2 volleyball players. The $260 does not cover everything. There's no meals provided the first day.
Okay.
There's no meals the first day. The kids are required to bring some money and they order food from somewhere. If you look at the agenda, there's no meal the first day.
Okay. And the kids are all aware of this?
They usually are, but I just want to make sure that that's known by everybody.
Because the action item is all meals.
It says all meals, but there's no meal the first day.
Okay. Is that accurate for the prior item as well?
Yes, both camps.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Bond implementation, bid pack number 7, change order, Ardmore Elementary School water main replacement.
This evening, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following change order related to water main replacement at Ardmore Elementary School. Administration brings change orders to the board for consideration that exceed $20,000. This work is being funded through district bond funds. During the foundational work at the main office expansion at Ardmore, it was discovered that the water main feeding the building needed to be repaired due to a deterioration of the existing original line. This condition was unknown until the site work contractor prepped the site for the improvements at Ardmore. When the repairs were attempted to a small section of the line, it was found to be in much poorer shape than expected. The solution was to replace the entire line into the building in order to avoid future breaks to the existing feed that would not hold pressure. Administration directed Barton Mallow Builders to proceed with the replacement after Partners in Architecture and Barton Mallow Builders reviewed and approved the proposed solution with the administration. Therefore, administration recommends formal approval of the change order increase in price to FM Sylvan contract as presented.
Mr. President, I recommend that the Board of Education approve the change order in contract increase to FM Sylvan for $27,974 as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Taylor, support by Ms. Martin. Discussion on the motion. I do have one question. Is this going to involve city resources as well, where we might get pinched for them for some money because we're tying into the water main?
No, this has already been done and it's basically from our property line into the building.
Okay.
What size is that line?
Is it a 4-inch? I don't remember if it's a 3 or 4-inch main. Yeah, probably a 4-inch main that goes in and it'll probably tap off and go into 2-inch feeds into different parts of the building. So basically what happened was there was one section we saw that had been broken. They repaired it and then it broke up the line and broke up, so it just kept breaking. And then we found the feed was going to be under where we found, like where it started to turn into the building, under the new office addition.
Oh,
And we're like, yeah, we can't have that, it's got to be, so. Last thing we want to do is have water main right in the middle of Chris Hahn's office.
yes. Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Bid pack number 7, change order, structural steel at Princeton Elementary School.
This evening, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following change order related to structural steel at Princeton Elementary School. Administration brings change orders to the board for consideration that exceed $20,000, and this work is being funded through district bond funds. During a demolition phase at Princeton Elementary School, there was an existing canopy that was not scheduled for removal. However, leaving the old canopy in place would interfere with new construction and look much different than the new construction immediately adjacent. This condition did not meet the goal of the bond initiative to improve value to the district. Reconstructing a new canopy at this location will develop a more aesthetic look consistent with all the elementary entrances with canopy covers. The old canopy was removed and administration directed Barton Mallow Builders and Partners in Architecture to develop plans and seek pricing for a new, simple, low-cost canopy consistent with other entrances in the schools. Barton Mallow Builders got pricing from the current contractors who will be working on the renovations to the existing building, and PIA reviewed the pricing. The structural steel contractor, Nelson Ironworks, submitted pricing that requires board approval. Both PIA and Barton Mallow reviewed the pricing with administration and found it to be appropriate for the work that was specified. Therefore, administration recommends formal approval of the change order increase in price to the Nelson Ironworks contract as presented.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the change order and contract increase to Nelson Ironworks for $29,884 as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Ms. Taylor. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving under business, item A, priority waste contract extension.
Tonight, administration is bringing forth a recommendation to extend the contract of Priority Waste LLC for trash removal at all 7 buildings within Lakeview Public Schools. Board of Education policy permits an extension one time, not longer than the initial term of the contract, if the extension is deemed to be in the best interest of the district. Priority Waste, the district's current trash removal company, was informed the current contract would expire on June 30, 2023, and if they would be interested in a contract extension. In response, the account manager met with administration and provided pricing for a 3-year extension effective July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2026. Over the past 2 years, the cost of diesel fuel has increased by about $2 per gallon, and disposal rates at dump sites have increased 3 to 4% per year. While fuel rates are still volatile, Priority Waste was willing to provide pricing for 2023 in the amount of $3,895.23 per month, with a 4% increase in both year 2 and 3. Under recent economic realities, with pay increases needed and inflationary expense growth, administration believes this contract extension proposal is beneficial to the district. Monthly actual cost with all services requested weekly over the past 2 years has ranged from $3,200 to $4,400, with averages at about $3,800. So this monthly fee proposal for 2023-24 is in line with current expense levels. Priority Waste has served the district well over the first term of the contract. The company is attentive to our regular expectations, very responsive to our special requests. Anytime they are unable to service a dumpster on Lakeview property, a picture is taken and sent to administration to provide evidence as to why the dumpster couldn't be emptied, which typically is a locked gate or a vehicle blocking the enclosure. Administration is confident that Priority Waste will continue to meet the high level of expectations the district has for all of its privatized service providers. It should be noted this contract extension does not circumvent the original bid document and contract language that allows the board to terminate the relationship if service levels are not being met. Therefore, administration is recommending extending contract to Priority Waste for district-wide trash removal services through June 30, 2026.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the Priority Waste LLC contract extension through June 30th, 2026 for routine trash removal services throughout the district at a cost of $38.95.23. That is $3,895.23 per month for 2023 to 24, with a 4% increase in years 2024 through 2025, and a 4% increase in year 2025 through 2026 as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Taylor, support by Ms. Martin. Discussion on the motion. How often do you have vehicles parked in front of the,
Not as often as, it's probably once or twice a year. And a lot of times it's early in the morning, like if a parent might be dropping their child off for latchkey and the dumpster is close to the pickup or drop-off location, they might park there and get in, and Priority can't get it. So they'll just send us a picture and say, we couldn't service the dumpster, and it's evidence as to why, and we can kind of ferret that out, which is good because a lot of times we need those dumpsters emptied, first thing in the morning when school gets in session.
Is there signage in front of those gates? Parking or anything?
No, but as we do increase the enclosures, we can put, update the enclosures, we can put signage on there.
Perfect. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we get to other. Student discipline. What we'll do is we'll take roll call votes for the 4 items to go into closed session. After the roll call votes are taken, we'll go into a recess. And at the conclusion of the recess, we will call in the very first family student for their hearing. And the internet will be shut down for this, as this is a closed session. If people are interested in coming on-prem to see the action after we've deliberated, they're more than welcome to come on-prem and see. We will not be broadcasting anything past the roll call vote this evening. So, regarding number 1, request for closed session, long-term suspension, expulsion, student number 2022/23, JM.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call vote, please.
1 second, please. I'm
It's
sorry.
all right.
Ms. Martin, yes. Ms. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Miskelly,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Miners,
Yes.
Mr. Dombrowski.
Aye.
Did I do that correctly, Mr. Dombrowski? Was I supposed to start with Mr. Bear and
Yes.
Mr. Miners? Okay,
It's all good.
I'll do it correctly the next time, thank you.
All right, item B, request for closed session, long-term suspension, expulsion, student number 2022/23, PS.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Mr. Miners. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Miners,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, yes. Ms. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Miskelly,
Yes.
Mr. Dombrowski.
Aye. That one passes 6-0. Okay, item C, request for closed session, long-term suspension, expulsion, student number 2022/23, CR.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Mr. Miners. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Miners,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, yes. Ms. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Miskelly,
Yes.
Mr. Dombrowski.
Aye. And then finally, item D, request for closed session, long-term suspension, expulsion, student number 2022/23, DF.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bear, support by Mr. Miners. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Miners,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, yes. Ms. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Miskelly,
Yes.
Mr. Dombrowski.
Aye. Okay, Madam Secretary, for the record, we will go into recess. It is 7:39. We will reconvene at 7:45, and I ask the parents and family representing 2022/23 JM to be in the boardroom, please,
Until what time?
So,
for closed session,
And
until
you-
45 minutes after the hour.
and you've
Excuse me,
informed
60.
everyone that we're going to do the first meeting, make a decision. do the
When they come in,
second
we'll- yeah.
And when are we reconvening?
7:45.
Thank you.